Serena is here. Good morning, Serena. Welcome.
Hi, how's it going?
Doing great, Serena. What's going on in Stergo? This is, the headline here is that you just had a baby. What, 2 months ago?
Oh,
Yeah, 2 months ago, a little baby boy. I know.
Congratulations. That's exciting.
Thank you.
And your husband's being a little biatch. So what, tell the story, Serena. So you had this baby, which is wonderful. And your husband,
Thank you.
he's not acting right about this.
He's not, and listen, just to be clear, I'm not, considering leaving my husband, but lately, he told me he doesn't want the baby sleeping in our room anymore. And, that's tough because, we had the baby 2 months ago, and he says that if I cared about our relationship at all, I'll move the baby into his own room.
Okay.
So, and
Is that it? Is it the, I'm sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you, but is it the disruption?
No.
Is it sleeping disruption? Is it what is his issue? Why doesn't he want the baby in the room?
No, I'm not totally sure. Like, he just gets visibly upset. Like, I think, he thinks I'm hogging the baby, and he gets visibly upset when I kiss the baby and hug the baby, and he says, "You never cuddle me as much as him."
Oh, he's jealous of the
And-
baby.
whoa.
He's jealous of the baby.
I mean, what does he
And-
expect you to do exactly? 2 months postpartum. Does he expect you to, I guess at this point, just to banish the child, put the child in another room like we didn't do this?
Oh, my God.
I'm
It's
not
all about
sure.
me?
I know. I don't know. He's saying that, ever since I gave birth, all I wanted to be is a mom and not a wife. And, that's pretty intense. And he also gets upset because, I decided to breastfeed, even though we had originally talked about not doing it.
That was an issue for him?
That was a really big issue for him.
How does that affect him? I'm asking that question, Paulina, as a mom.
Yeah.
I'm asking that question honestly. I don't know the answer, but how does it negatively affect him?
It shouldn't, first and foremost. Mom can make that choice. And congrats on doing that because it's a full-time job to breastfeed. The only issue,
you.
quote, and I'm using it as quote, is that he might not be able to feed the baby at night via bottle or whatever, right? Because sometimes they say mom wants to rest. How is dad going to feed the baby? But you guys can figure that all out later. Your baby
Or
is
is it
2 months
it's
old.
just more time
Together,
that
it's
mom has
bonding.
to dedicate to the baby, as if it was bottle feeding, then I suppose anybody could feed the baby.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. So it's just he says I treat him like an absentee father because I don't tell him when the baby's getting a bath or when he's going down for a nap. Like, I make the decisions myself, but obviously I'm not doing that on purpose.
And I have a feeling that someone texted this, but this has something to do with intimacy as well, which you're 2 months postpartum. So, I mean, aren't we a little... Again, I'm not going to get too detailed about that, but don't we wait a little longer than that anyway? Is it 60 days?
Well, typically 6 weeks, you have a checkup. You go to a checkup, and they kind of clear you or whatnot, depending, if you have C-section, if you have the vaginal birth. But in 2 months, you can still be in diapers. So I don't understand what his issue is.
So we're not even really there yet.
We're not there yet.
Necessarily.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and obviously we're both just exhausted, and I'm really trying my best. And I just never imagined in a million years he'd react like this.
I don't mean to be insensitive, Serena, but what did he think was going to happen? I mean, and I realize it's an adjustment, but he's, you guys, I assume, discussed having children, and you conceived one, and for the last 9 months you've been, pregnant, and, baking this little guy, and now, I mean, so I would think that the transition would be sort of happening, right? Like, okay, we're adding to the family. There's going to be a new obligation here. There's going to be something dividing our attention a little bit. We have another, but I guess I don't understand why he's surprised that you have to raise the kid and that you can't just put the kid in another room and pay attention to me all the time. Like, it's very much me behavior.
Yes, totally. And, like you said, it's not like we just decided to do this overnight. This was a discussion. This was many months of talking about it. And obviously the baby needs more right now at this stage. And it's just temporary. It goes by so quickly. And he just can't see that. And I think he's taking it really personally. And I did not expect this at all from him. And I just don't know what to do.
I'm sorry to be negative, but this is him making this about him. He's not being considerate of you. He's not being considerate of what you're going through. He's not being considerate of what the child needs. He clearly isn't ready to make the adjustment. that he's going to have to share your attention now with another human. He's acting like this is a surprise, like he wasn't involved in the process of making the kid.
Do men go through postpartum? I don't know.
I don't know the answer either. But I mean, I get that someone just said mental health is wild as a new dad. I don't know if that means that a man's mental health is wild. Look, this is a transition for sure, but making her feel bad about tending to the child, I think is really the wrong way to go.
I agree. I mean, listen, everyone's world is upside down right now, right? Especially you as a brand new mom, just everything you're going through. I mean, you are in the thick of it. And I feel like if anything, your husband has to be so supportive of anything that you need in that moment. And because he's not, he's focused on I don't even know what he's focused on, if he just wants you intimately or whatever, like that needs to be put to the side. I'm sorry. You guys will once again have all the amazing sex and all the amazing times together and dates and all of that. But right now, I think like your focus should be truly both on the baby.
Yeah, 2 months out, I honestly, and not that his needs don't matter. I don't mean to just dump on this guy, but 2 months after having a baby, he needs to be focused on what's best for you and the baby, and his needs can be met down the road. And and I don't think his needs are any closer to being met when he's just acting like the baby. This is not a good sign for me. And again, I don't have any experience in any of this, but it just doesn't feel right to me. And the texts are overwhelmingly in favor of this is really bad. And I'm sorry to say that to you because I know you just had a baby with this guy, but this is really not the kind of supportive, selfless behavior that you would hope from someone after what you just went through. But let me take some phone calls on this and see if, and by the way, you're welcome to feel differently about it. And maybe you can enlighten us in some ways because the men in the room here have never had a baby. So I admittedly do not know.
Right.
Yeah.
To me though, my thought is it feels bad.
Yeah. I feel so bad for you, Mama. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. And, again, I'm not like thinking about leaving him, but just like, I just feel like this confirms everything that I've sort of been thinking. And, I don't want to lose myself or my marriage,
Well, good luck to you. And let's see what some people have to say here. And I appreciate you sharing and all the best. Have a great day.